Good morning, everybody. This is the biology exam review worksheet for the last semester, final term, grade 7, semester 4 at the International School of Innovation. Let's start with question number 1. The grasshopper respires through small openings called spiracles. The inhaled air then enters a network of very fine tubes called trachea that ramify in the whole body into smaller tubes called tracheals, where each tracheal ends in the air sacs. As you see here, the body of the grasshopper is composed of three main parts: head, thorax, and the abdomen, where it contains the spiracles. These three parts are the parts of the grasshopper. Let's start with question number 1. What's the type of respiration of the grasshopper? 2. What makes the respiration of the grasshopper a peculiar one, which is a special one? So, the type of respiration of the grasshopper is a tracheal respiration, where it breathes through trachea. It's the type of insects. 2. What makes the respiration of the grasshopper a peculiar one? The respiration in grasshopper occurs through small openings called spiracles, which make it a peculiar type of respiration. Here we measure the amount of oxygen gas and carbon dioxide gas. These gases are called the respiratory gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. We measure the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases in the air entering and leaving the spiracles of the grasshopper. The results are shown in the table below. Here are the amounts in the air entering the spiracles, where it contains 21% oxygen and 0.03% of carbon dioxide gas and 21% of oxygen, while this amount in the air leaving the spiracles, it decreases from 21% to be 4%, while the amount of carbon dioxide entering is 0.03%, it increases to reach 6.5%. Question number 3, analyze the above table. You have to analyze this table. 4, you have to explain how these values prove the process of respiration in the grasshopper. 5, it's known that the body of the grasshopper consists of three main parts: head, thorax, abdomen. You have to cover the thorax by clay. Will it stop breathing? Justify your answer. Regarding the analysis, the percentage of oxygen in air entering is 21%, which decreases to reach 4% in the air leaving the spiracle, while the percentage of carbon dioxide in the air entering the spiracle is 0.03%, as we see in the table. This percent increases to reach 6.5% in the air leaving the spiracles. How can you prove in question number 4? Body absorb oxygen, as we know, due to the decrease in the percentage from 21 to 4%, while it releases carbon dioxide, and this explains the increase in the percentage of carbon dioxide from 0.03% to reach 6.5%. Question number 5, as we know that the body of the grasshopper is composed of three main parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. We covered the thorax with a clay to prevent the process of respiration. Will it affect its respiration? Sure, it's not, since the spiracles, they are found inside the abdomen and not inside the thorax. Question number 2. The figure below shows the gaseous exchange between the lungs and the cells. Here we have the lungs and we have the cell. Here the blood carrying carbon dioxide gas. This blood is the transporter which carry the gases, which is carbon dioxide and oxygen, while another path is here where the blood carrying oxygen gas is delivered to the body cells. A. By referring to the figure, indicate the name of two exchange gases. These are carbon dioxide and oxygen. The transporter of the exchange gas, sure, they are transported by the blood. Moving to B. Using your acquired knowledge, answer the following questions. From where did the carbon dioxide in the blood come from? And from where did the oxygen gas in blood come from? So first, oxygen and carbon dioxide, these are the respiratory gases. Blood is the transport of, this is blood, this is the transport of gases, the transporter of gases. From where carbon dioxide comes from the blood cell, body cells, and oxygen comes from the inhaled air, which contain oxygen. We measure the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide in blood entering and in blood leaving the body cells. The results are shown in the table below. This showed in blood entering and this is in blood leaving. This shows the amount of carbon dioxide and this is the amount of oxygen gas. Here in the blood entering, the amount of carbon dioxide was 49 milliliter, while this value increases in the blood leaving to reach 53 milliliter. Regarding oxygen gas, in the blood entering it was 20 milliliter, while in the blood leaving it decreases to be 15. Compare between the blood entering and the blood leaving components, and what can you conclude? Whenever I say compare, you have to use the comparison words: less than, greater than, decreases, increases, it's equal. These words you have to use them whenever I say compare. So the amount of carbon dioxide in blood entering is 49 milliliter, which is less than the amount leaving, which is 53 milliliter, while the amount of oxygen in blood entering is 20 milliliter, which is greater than that in blood leaving, which is 15 milliliter. Here, what we can conclude here, we can conclude that the animal respires by absorbing oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. So animal respire by inhaling oxygen and exhaling or getting rid of carbon dioxide. Condition for the photosynthesis process. The following experiment is performed to study the importance of two conditions in the process of photosynthesis. We have a hint that the periphery of the leaf is white and the rest is green in color, and here we have a black cover that prevents the light from reaching this plant or this leaf. Name the conditions for a green plant to perform photosynthesis. It needs light for sure, it needs water, it needs minerals, it needs carbon dioxide. Indicate the two conditions. The conditions that are tested here are light and air. So what are the conditions needed for? We have sunlight, we need minerals, we need water, and we need CO2, which is carbon dioxide. Indicate the two conditions tested in this experiment. We test for the light and for the air. Give an experiment to test the presence of carbon dioxide in the photosynthesis. Simply, we can use lime water. Whenever it turns to be a cloudy one or turbid, this indicates the presence of carbon dioxide gas through the process of photosynthesis. How can you prove the presence of photosynthesis a process in a green plant? Simply, photosynthesis it produces starch. This starch will give a dark blue color with iodine solution. So we can use iodine test solution. Experiment this lime water. As we said before, lime water tends to be turbid in the presence of carbon dioxide, or tends to be cloudy, or tends to be milky. You can then the word that you want, but I prefer to use turbid one. How can you prove the presence of photosynthesis process? By testing the presence of starch by iodine test. This iodine test gives dark blue color. Yes, dark blue color in the presence of starch. By this way we can test the presence of starch, so the presence of the photosynthesis process in green plants. Moving to question number 4, frog respiration. The frog has a pulmonary respiration, pulmonary meaning through the lungs, accomplished by important cutaneous respiration. Through what? Through the skin. The skin is composed of a thin membrane that contains a large network of blood vessels. What does this characteristic allow? allow the gases to change between the blood vessels and the surroundings. So these characteristics containing a large network of blood vessels facilitate the gaseous exchange between the blood vessels and the surrounding. It passes winter completely immobile in the mirror. In summer, the frog lives near the mirror and gets in water for the smallest warning, but not for a long time. It gets back rapidly. During inspiration, the nostrils open, allowing the air to enter into the mouth, and then the nostril closed and the air in the mouth is forced into the lungs. During expiration or expiration, the air exits from the lungs, the mouth. Finally, the nostrils are open to get rid of the air. Here, important note here that in summer, the needs of oxygen are 3 times more than that in winter. So the pulmonary respiration ensures 70% of its needs. Indicate the two types of respiration. We have cutaneous, as we said, through skin, and we have pulmonary through the lungs. Characteristics: the presence that favor the gas exchange between blood and the surrounding. This presence of a network of blood vessels. How does the type of respiration vary with the seasons? It depends according to the needs. It varies. Name the two phases of the respiratory movement. We have pulmonary, as we said, and we have cutaneous. Hypothesis to explain difference in oxygen. Difference mainly due to the activity. As you know, frog is more active in summer than in winter. That's why it uses or consumes more oxygen in summer. So indicate the two types. We have pulmonary and cutaneous. Pulmonary through the lungs and cutaneous through the skin. Draw out the characteristics that favor the gas exchange between blood and the surrounding. As you know, the skin is composed of a thin membrane that contains a large network of blood vessels. This is the characteristic that allows the gaseous exchange. How does the type of respiration vary with the seasons? You have to know that in summer the need of frog is an oxygen or 3 times more than in winter, while the pulmonary respiration ensures 70% of its needs. Two phases, we have pulmonary and cutaneous. Hypothesis, you have to use maybe. Maybe it's for hypothesis. So maybe during summer it's more active, so it needs more oxygen gas. Okay? Thank you.